kind of soap are you supposed to use for your face? Face wash. Any soap that says it's for the face. There are different types of soaps. There are things like surfactants. There are different types of things that degrease, things that clean in different ways. So some of them are not as good to use on more sensitive types of skin. Some of them clog pores, but they clean really well. And on your body, where your pores tend to be a bit smaller, it's usually not an issue. But then on your face, it causes you a lot of fucking problems, you know? So sometimes it's just your soap, man. And that's all it is. Honestly, the one I always recommend, because it's cheap and available everywhere and great, are the cleansers from CeraVe. They got a couple different ones. They got one for acne control. They got one that's hydrating. It's like less, it doesn't really foam up. It's more creamy feeling, and that one's really good if you're dry. They got the foaming facial cleanser, which is like the standard one. Dude, I'm telling you, go get a giant bottle of this at a drugstore and use it forever. It's so good. It's so good, and it doesn't leave you feeling like shit. Okay? The thing I like about this brand is none of their stuff smells like anything. Nothing's scented. I can't use scented stuff. My skin just starts to like get red and sting whenever I use a lot of scented things. I can do it on my body, but on my face, I can't. It irritates me every single time. This stuff, none of that. And the main ingredients in like most of their products, a lot of their moisturizers and everything, it's called CeraVe because the main ingredient for everything it's different types of ceramides. Ceramides are naturally occurring lipids, right? Like a type of fat that exists on your skin. Okay? Naturally occurring oils, fats, whatever you want to call them, lipids that exist on your skin and keep your skin naturally moisturized. Your skin produces these. These products from CeraVe, the main thing that they use as moisturizers are ceramides. So it's the most like inoffensive thing you could put on your skin because it's something your skin already produces. So if you're like sensitive, yeah, right, you've got like eczema, things like that. It's anything that is ceramide based is going to be really good for you to use because it's again not very offensive to your skin. They should sponsor you. Honestly, they should. I've used their products for a really long time, not sponsored. And I really love them. I really love them because they're just like it's a thing that works, but it's a lot of nothingness, right? There's no scent, there's no crazy ingredients in there that are trying to do any more than what the product says it's trying to do. They're very simple. So, you know, for me, I always like them. So, you have stupid sensitive skin? Yeah. I would suggest them. Not everything works for everyone, but they worked well for me. You're afraid to look for beauty products because it requires time and money? Yeah, I really didn't get to try a lot of different things until like my adult life, and I was able to actually try to pay for some. I did a lot of research, and I asked friends for samples if they were trying something. I'd be like, yo, if they give you a little sample packet, let me get one. And I would buy like the smallest size of things to try, and I wouldn't get caught up in like buying a value size or whatever, because if you don't like that product, it sucks to have that whole thing. But yeah, I eventually found stuff that worked. So Vaseline petroleum jelly is in general harmful to skin in that it has skin aging properties. It's not really. It's marginal. It's marginal, and it doesn't really do that unless you use it improperly. It's more if you don't wash it off properly, if you don't remove it properly, then it could be a problem. And one of the issues is that when people use petroleum jelly, they don't. So there are different types of cleansers. We were talking about different types of soaps and stuff, right? There are all sorts of different things that act as a type of soap. Soap is a broad word. For example, when you put conditioner on your hair, it's got silicone in it. Okay, most conditioners use like dimethicone and things like that, like a silicone derivative to keep your hair moisturized because they leave a little layer of that silicone on there. Silicone's great. It's a great thing that doesn't let moisture through. It doesn't let it in and out, so it traps in moisture like a conditioner should. Great, leaves it feeling smooth, wonderful. So when you put on conditioner, it leaves a layer of these silicone derivatives on your hair. To get that off, if you just want to wash it with like a normal bar soap, it won't properly work most of the time. It won't actually take all of it off. You have to use a soap that has a surfactant in it, right? You need specifically a type of chemical called a surfactant, and that will actually be able to break it down a little bit in a way where it comes off of the hair. But that's also incredibly drying. But regardless, so different types of things that you put on your skin and put on your hair, you need other things to counteract them and to wash them off. It's the same way like only Dawn dish soap seems to work really well on oil spills because it's a certain type of degreaser that actually does break it up really well, but other types of soaps won't actually get that kind of stuff off, you know? So this is sort of why, like, when you put Vaseline on your skin and then you try to wash it off, it might age you because you're not actually taking it off. You need to use the right thing. So TLDR, everything has something else that you use to take it off, and you just got to make sure you have the right thing, you know? I understand why there are men's 21s. Yeah. Yeah. It's the way to do it, man. It is. But you don't need to know like all the details of what counteracts what. You just need to know this product takes this other product off. And that's why using stuff within the same brand is pretty good. Like if you have a conditioner and a shampoo from the same brand, they're made to work in tandem with each other. You know, like you should be fine. That's usually the way to do it. You don't have to, but you know, if for some reason you feel like something's weird with your hair and your conditioner's like never quite leaving you, you might need to change your shampoo. No one told you for the longest time the order was shampoo then conditioner. Yeah, there's actually a lot of people that they get it twisted. They get it twisted, man. It's true. You actually can do it out of order, so long as you follow up with conditioner at the end. There are people that do, they call it a hair mask, but it's just a really thick, deep conditioner. So there are a lot of women, especially, but a lot of guys too that have curly hair that do this. If your hair is a little dry, a lot of folks they'll have a big shower day. And what they'll do is they'll wet their hair, they'll dampen it just a tiny bit in the sink real quick. And then they'll put this really deep conditioner in their hair and they'll just leave it. And they'll go about their day. They're not in the shower. They're just going about their day at home and they're just hanging out. And they let it sit there for like 10 minutes. And then they go into the shower and they do a normal shampoo session and a normal conditioner session on top of it. There are a lot of products like that. You can actually do this with normal conditioner. You don't have to do that with a hair mask, quote unquote. It's just that usually they're thicker, so like you don't have to worry about it like dripping down and stuff. Like they're usually formulated so they don't like, you know, they're not liquidy. But yeah, that's something you can just do. And so you technically, yes, you can do conditioner first, then shampoo, but you still need to condition after to lock it in still. But there's a benefit by doing it first. There is. But I don't think you're going to see a difference unless you, like, how do I say it? What am I trying to say? You won't see a difference unless you have, like, really dry hair, I guess is the best way to say it. Certain hair types or certain specific needs, like if you're deficient certain vitamins that kind of make you dry out more, blah, 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 like, then you'll see a difference with that, but not everyone needs that. Not everyone does. You feel the difference more with conditioner. Yeah. You conditioned your hair with no shampoo and it was horrible once. Yeah, no, you still have to take it off because like when you do most conditioners, like I said, have some silicones in them, so it leaves a residue on your hair. So if you don't rip that residue off and then reapply, you're just applying more on top of the residue. So you're just like it's buildup, right? You're just adding buildup. That's why you ever see those videos of them like taking a camera and like zooming super close in on someone's scalp and you see all this buildup around the hair follicle? It's because they didn't actually like wash well enough. And that buildup is, yes, it's dead skin and stuff like that, but a lot of the time it's also mixed with the silicones from their conditioner as well. And that the silicone makes it like cakey and like it sticks together and, you know, that it becomes like hard, like a carapace you have to peel off. So that's why you should shampoo really well. The way to do it is actually 2 shampoos. Do this once a week, not every time. You'll dry yourself out. Once a week, or a little less often depending on if you're drier. You get in the shower, shampoo once and rinse, and then shampoo again a second time and like really scrub that second time and make sure like the crown of your head, you're like really getting in there. Do that once a week and then condition really well after that. So you put the conditioner in and let it sit for a while and then rinse it. And if you do that once a week, you won't have issues. You're saying they have a sediment beach on their scalp? Oh yeah. You're bald? Well, then you don't have to worry. Well, you still have hair follicles. Even if there's no hair growing out of them, those follicles still exist. You still have sebaceous glands, okay? So when you've got a hair follicle, you want to see a chart? Sebaceous gland. It's a gland that exists within a hair follicle. It's like attached to it. I'll show you a chart. I'll show you one that looks like balls because they kind of look like balls. Here. So even if you're bald, you still have these glands. Boom. Okay? So you see the hair. You see the hair growing out. And then you see these other things, these little ducts attached to it. And that's where your oils come out from. They're produced there and they're secreted out with the hair. So if there's no hair there, if your follicle's damaged, whatever, and you don't grow hair anymore, you still are secreting that out of where those follicles were. The follicles don't like disappear. They just don't make hair anymore, you know? And yeah, exactly. These are what's responsible for pimples and things. These getting clogged. And then that stuff, basically the stuff that should get out doesn't get out. Like that top gets clogged and then it's just sitting there and it's just stuck there. And then that's why it becomes a bump of some sort, because it's like more is being produced, but it can't get out, you know? Sorry if it's gross, but that's just how it works. But yeah, so you still have to like, TLDR, you still gotta wash your fucking head, you know? I'm sure you know that, but like, you still gotta. You have to. And that's why you get a lot more blemishes and things on your face, because you have more hair follicles. You have more peach fuzz and like beard area and all that on your face than you do on your body. It still exists on your body, but a lot more there. So, mites live in the pores too. Yup. Yup. Not what I expected to be learning when I got here. I really like skincare. Isn't it true it's not good for your hair to shampoo it every day? Yeah, it depends on hair type, but most people don't need it. It's overkill. And I mean, just wash your hands every time you go to the bathroom. You're a little dry each time after, right? Unless you use like a nice soap that doesn't dry you out. Now, do that way more often. Do it like double the amount. You're just going to see that the more you wash, the more you dry out. So basically, unless you are getting greasy, you don't need to shampoo. Until you're starting to get a little something, you don't need shampoo that day. You can still rinse off or whatever. But you know, everyone's different with that, with how much they produce and how much oil ends up on their head and whatever. So you just play it by ear. You just play it by ear. You know, you watch, you look, you feel your head, you know, touch your hair, touch your scalp. If you put your hand up to your scalp and you rub a little bit and you take it off and you're like, my fingers are shiny because there's a bunch of oil, yay, you should shower. And you should wash your hair when you do that, you know. But if it's still feeling like pretty all right and it's not looking bad and it's not smelling bad, you don't necessarily need to shampoo immediately. I think every other day or every third day is actually like ideal for most hair types. That way you don't dry yourself out. Yeah, you can tell when you haven't shampooed enough. Take that timeline, cut it in half, and then you're good. Yeah, exactly. Some people shower 2 times a day. Try to tell them it's a lot to shampoo every time. Yeah, I think you should still shower more often. Just don't like, you know, strip all the oils off of yourself and not moisturize. I think it's actually okay to still do a lot of these things every day so long as you have a good moisturizing routine so you don't dry yourself out. Also, conditioner every day and shampoo every few days or so. Yeah, as long as you're not rubbing it into your scalp though, like conditioner, make sure you're just doing the ends and you're not like, because when you get it on your scalp, like it builds up really quickly. But they started calling it what, an everything shower? So it's like a big old shower regimen. So basic hygiene is taken care of like normal, but then you also add a lot more hair care, a lot more skin care, and like deep scrubbing, all the extra scrubbing, and you're just basically going above and beyond. I think you just do that once a week and then do like light normal stuff in between. You're chilling. You ever look at a picture of the desert and like the top layer of the ground is baked by the sun and cracked? That's me if I don't moisturize.